What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Primetime Podcast. My name is Justin, and we are live on YouTube right now. This episode of the Primetime Podcast, I'm going to be talking about the PlayStation Classic again, because last month I talked about the PlayStation Classic, but at that point we only knew of 5 games that were officially announced for it. Now we know the full game list reveal. It's happened. Just a few hours ago, Sony had made the announcement of all the games that's going to be on it. So, we're going to watch the video, we're going to watch the trailer completely through without any interruptions. I'm going to watch it again, stop it, and tell you what I think. Then we're going to go over the 15 games that I listed in the last podcast that I thought would make the list. The 15 games that I thought for sure were going to make the list. Or there were some that I thought, maybe not, but there were some I was dead sure on, and they didn't make the list. So we'll see how well I did compared to what actually made the list. And then we're going to go to Twitter, and we're going to go to PlayStation's official Twitter. We're going to see what people are saying about this on there. So I see you guys are coming in real quick. Let me give some shout outs before I play the video here. Anthony Mattiera, Clockwork, Redwood, PSX, BNIN, Poetry7, Cinematronics, Reese, Madison, Octo Gaming, MX Demetrius, Fairlight, Gooner, Wise Tim, Savage, what's up, buddy? Grape Vinyl, I think it's my first time seeing you in here, so welcome to the channel. Broken Records, Stomp at Zero, and Midnightmare. Thank you guys for stopping in. I do appreciate it. So without further ado, let's play this video through for the first time, and I'm not gonna say a word. So here we go.
Turn my speakers to 11. I feel like a legend. Legend.
Legend. Okay, so I don't know if you guys could tell, I was really enjoying that song. That's pretty catchy. Now, that was not my first time seeing this video. I saw it earlier when it first came out. And by seeing that, I have to say that I think Sony dropped the ball. I really do. I think there's some good games on there, don't get me wrong. But I think they dropped the ball. And we're going to take it back here real quick. And we're going to take a look at these games. I'm going to stop and talk about them as we go. So, here we go. There it is, looking all adorable. Okay. Did we really feel the need, though, to have Grand Theft Auto put on here? You know, looking at this compared to GTA 5, this does not age well at all. And I understand a lot of PlayStation 1 games might not age well, you know, but I don't know. I just think you could have done without this game. That's just my opinion. I played this game a handful of times, and I think you could have done without. So, moving on. Battle Arena Toshinden. I'm not a big fan of fighting games, but I think with the announcement of Tekken 3 already on there, I don't think you needed to have this one. You know, I don't know which one's better. I would assume Tekken 3. But I don't know. I just think this is wasted space. Having, multiple fighting games like this. I don't know. Continuing. R4 Ridge Racer Type 4, we knew that was on there. Good game. Cool with that. Mr. Driller? Mr. Driller. This looks like a game that I could play on my smartphone. You know what I mean? Like, the PlayStation Classic is supposed to be full of games that made the original PlayStation iconic. Made the original PlayStation successful. Made the original PlayStation what it was. You know what I mean? Do you think Mr. Driller does that? I don't think so. I don't know. Metal Gear Solid, absolutely. Has to be on. And it is. That's good. That's a good one. Twisted Metal, cool with that as well. I knew one of them would get on there. I think I thought two. Oddworld makes the list. Siphon Filter makes the list. So we got some good ones here. Rayman. There's Tekken 3. This one surprises me a little bit. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. I've never played this game, but I have to tell you, from seeing it in this trailer, I'm actually looking forward to playing it. It looks pretty fun to me, but I didn't think it'd make it. But this does look very interesting and fun to me, so I'm alright with that. New Wild Arms, Jumping Flash, Cool Borders. Cool Borders 2 made the list, okay. Final Fantasy 7, we knew. This one looks fun. I could see me playing this with my wife and having a blast with it. Revelations Persona. Okay. Hold up. This one right here caught my eye from the very beginning. When I first saw this trailer, this one blew my mind. But let's go back real quick. What was it? Persona? Is that what it's called? Another RPG. Okay, whatever. I mean, you have Final Fantasy 7. Could you have left this one out? Sure. You sure could have. But it's in there, whatever. I know there's a big fan base for this style of game. Okay. I'm alright, whatever. Leave that in there. But this is nonsense. First of all, the amount, like I said, you've already got 2 fighting games. This is technically a fighting game, but it's called Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Are you kidding me? This made the list, but Tomb Raider didn't. This made the list, but Symphony of the Night didn't. I don't know. I can tell you right now, though, I will probably do many streams of the PlayStation Classic, and this will be a game that probably never gets opened. I will probably never select this game. This is a horrible selection. Choosing this game is terrible. Probably the worst game on this, in my opinion. Intelligent Cube, I have never seen this game, nor heard of it. But once again, it looks like a puzzle game to me. I think there's way too many puzzle games on the PlayStation Classic, but out of all of them, this one looks the most interesting. So I'll probably play this one. I'm alright with that. Resident Evil Director's Cut. By the way, this music, I already mentioned it. I dig this music. Resident Evil Director's Cut. I am very surprised. I'm happy that a Resident Evil made it, though, so I'm cool with it. Whatever, But I just thought maybe 3 would have made the list, but we'll get into that in just a moment. Legend. And here we go. We have the list again. So, I don't know. There it is, launching December 3rd, 2018. Okay, so now that I've seen all that, let me go to you guys real quick. Let me read the chat. Pretty weak selection, to be honest, says Tim Wise. Don't know why Resident Evil 1 over the other ones. Frankie89 says this selection sucks. So you guys ain't digging this. We could have done without all the racing games. Now, see, I didn't think there was... Well, there was a good bit of racing games, I guess. The Derby one, I don't really know if that's a racing game. But, I don't know. I feel like I'd have to go back and count, but I feel like there were more puzzle games in my opinion. I'm blown away with no Gran Turismo. See, I don't know. I really think the Gran Turismo, that's got to be a licensing issue with all the different cars and stuff. But so let's go to my 15 list. My 15 games that I thought should have made the list. We're going to see how many I got right and how many I got wrong. And I can tell you it's lopsided. Number 1, I said Tomb Raider 2. Not because I think Tomb Raider 2 is my favorite, because it's not, even though it's behind me. Tomb Raider 1's my favorite, but I thought Tomb Raider 2 would make the list because out of those original PlayStation 1 Tomb Raider games, everyone always talks about 2 being the best. So I thought 2 would have made it. Tomb Raider 2 did not make it, and I am completely mind blown about that. When I think of the original PlayStation, I think of Tomb Raider, and the fact that it's not on there is just sad. That's sad. Symphony of the Night, I thought for sure that would have been on the list, especially with like Nintendo with their games or on their classics getting Castlevania games. I thought it wouldn't be an issue with Sony getting a hold of them for Symphony of the Night, but apparently, from what it looks like, is they didn't want it. So Symphony of the Night didn't make the list. I said Resident Evil 3, but Resident Evil 1 made the list instead. But I'm going to give myself that because I did specifically say Resident Evil 3, but I said a Resident Evil game will make the list. So I'll give myself that one. I said Gran Turismo. Once again, I think the licensing with the cars, I'm not surprised to see it didn't make the list. I said Twisted Metal 2, and I was pretty set on Twisted Metal 2 making the list. But the first one made it. Whatever, that's cool. Twisted Metal made it. I'm not going to give myself that one, though, because I was dead set on 2. These next 2 blow my mind as about as much as Tomb Raider did. How do you not have a Spyro the Dragon on this thing? And how do you not have a Crash Bandicoot? When you think of the PlayStation 1, you're not thinking of Spyro or Crash? I don't understand that. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Parappa the Rapper, I thought that would have made the list. I'm not personally a big fan of that, but I know it was big at the time. Number 9, Metal Gear. Metal Gear made the list. That's probably going to be the number 1 game. When I get my PlayStation Classic, that's probably going to be the game I play the most on it. So Metal Gear does make the list. At number 10, Cool Borders. I had said a Cool Borders would make it. I didn't say which one. It ended up being 2, so I'm going to give myself a point for that one. Number 11, I said Tony Hawk, but I said I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't make it because of the licensing for music. It didn't make it. I said a Siphon Filter. We got a Siphon Filter, so cool. Number 13, I said Croc. Croc didn't make the list. Number 14, though, I said 2. So, you know what? We're going to do this out of 16 because I'm taking credit for both of these. I said Oddworld would make it, and if not Oddworld, Rayman. They both made the list. So, I'm giving me 2 points for that. And then my last one was Silent Hill. We didn't see it. So, Silent Hill, once again, not on the list. So, out of all that, I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 16. I'm going to say 16 because I did name 2 for 14. That's not very good. But I don't think I made a bad list. I think that Sony made a bad selection. And we're going to go to Twitter and we're going to check out what they have to, what people were writing underneath their post on there. So anyway, I am going to, I just got a text from my wife. She's telling me that she broke my cord. I have no idea I do know what she's talking about. I'll cover that at the end of this podcast. She's coming clean about it. But anyway, my biggest thing is that stupid, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo? How does that get selected over Spyro, Crash, Symphony of the Night, Tomb Raider, Parappa the Rapper, and I don't... Silent Hill, Croc. You're telling me that was the better option. Who made that decision? They need to be fired. They need to be fired. That is a terrible selection. I'm pretty mind blown about all of this, all these games that didn't make it, but that just makes me mad. Who put that on there? That's horrible. That is a horrible choice. All right, let's go to Twitter. What's up, Laura Sexy Muffin Croft? That's a Laura Croft fan right there, and I guarantee you they're not very happy Tomb Raider didn't make the list. And like I said, I'm not upset that Tomb Raider didn't make the list because I have all the games for PlayStation 1. If I want to play them bad enough, I'll hook up the original PlayStation 1 and play it. Or I have them on the PS3. I'll play them through that. I just think for a younger generation who did not grow up with the original PlayStation 1, that is an iconic game for the PlayStation. That game changed the way we looked at video games, from that point forward. And whatever. Let's just go to Twitter, okay? All right, here we go. PlayStation. Here we go. The top tweets for the PlayStation Classic. There's PlayStation. All right. Somebody by the name of George says, at least Abe's Odyssey is there, but no Crash or Spyro. I know they have trilogies, but they're a part of what defined the PlayStation. Very well said, George. Very well said. APZ says they also have been remastered very recently. The Crash trilogy last year and Spyro trilogy coming soon. So I think he's giving a reason why they're not on there. Doesn't matter. They still need to be on there. This person says, what about Crash Team Racing? I didn't think that one would make it because I thought Crash Bandicoot Warped was the one that I said would have made it. So I wouldn't think they'd put Warped and Crash Team Racing. But what do I know? They didn't pick either. All right, let's see. Reflux Sun is surprised that a Gex didn't make it. Spooky Ray says, no Crash, no Spyro, not even a Tony Hawk game. Well, like I said, we pretty much covered why the Tony Hawk game didn't make the list. Probably because of music. Here we go. It says, this person says, not a bad list, but far too many games that actually sold this console around the world not included. Not enough to warrant the price tag for me, I'm afraid. That is a very good point. Who said that on Twitter? That was Retro Game Geeks. That is a very good point. Very good point. For the price that you're buying this for, looking at the SNES Classic and the NES Classic, this is way more than that. And this selection kind of sucks compared to what you got on those, two Nintendo Classic consoles. This person says, not just Wipeout, but Tomb Raider, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Gran Turismo, all missing. Games that were right up there on the list of both commercially successful and essential to the machine's legacy. Rainbow Six, Cool Borders, Intelligent Cube. Are you kidding me, Sony? That's actually the same guy. That's the same Retro Game Geeks Twitter, and Cheap Either agrees. This person says, "Wow, really? No Crash Racing." Robin G says, "What a disappointment." I have to agree. This person says, no Parappa the Rapper. So basically, we're all in the same... That's what I'm saying. It's not like just my list, and I'm like blown away that none of my things on the list... A lot of things on my list were games that you would have... If you know the PlayStation 1, it's common sense. Why wouldn't that have made it? You know what I mean? And you could see it on Twitter. This person here is basically saying what I'm saying. It's is just kind of crazy that these big games that defined the console, are not on the Classic. The Classic is supposed to highlight the best games for the PlayStation. And Super freaking Puzzle Fighter made the list. Unreal. I'm going to read a couple more from their PlayStation Twitter where people were writing. This person says, we got screwed. This person's very happy Siphon Filter made it. Me too. Wow. No Crash, no Tony Hawk, no Symphony of the Night, no Tomb Raider. What are you even doing? Konami let you have Metal Gear, but you couldn't get Silent Hill or Symphony of the Night. It's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, with Konami giving Nintendo and Super Nintendo the Castlevania games, the first Nintendo, or they gave them, I'm trying to think which one, 1 and 2, I think, made the NES Classic, and then Super Castlevania on the Super Nintendo. You couldn't have got Symphony of the Night. I think you could have. I think they just didn't want to do it. But anyways, yeah, Konami. Like, that person just made a good point. They made a good point. Let's see. Tony Hawk, Tomb Raider, Crash, Team Racing, Spyro, tons of games missing. I would probably be okay with it if it wasn't for the fact that this is a lot dearer than Nintendo's many classics. What justifies $99? That's a good point. That's another good point. But I'm not going to read any more, guys, because they're all basically the same thing. They're all saying what we're saying. I just don't know who made the selection. There are some good games on here. Like I said, the Metal Gear is a good one. Siphon Filter, that Rainbow Six looks pretty good. I'm interested to try that out. But so many, what a letdown in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion. So, all right, before I end this podcast, guys, my wife last night, she was playing on her Xbox One. Well, there she is, messaging me again. She's playing on her Xbox One while her controller was dead, so I let her use my super long our Xbox One cord and to just plug it straight in, old school style, before we had wireless controllers. And she could have played it that way. So she just hooked her Xbox controller into the cord and was playing the game. Well, I was in my room here, and I heard her out in the living room last night getting mad about the controller disconnecting constantly. So I go out and I look, and I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? So I try to fix it, and I can see that it looks a little bent. And I asked her, I said, did you drop it? Maybe she dropped the controller while the cord was connected, and it bent I don't know. So I tried to fix it as much as I could. Didn't happen, so I had to throw the cord away. She told me she didn't know what happened. She just confirmed to me that she broke my cord. So, but it's okay. I can get another one. It's whatever. But at least she finally came forward with it. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. Be sure to follow me on Instagram or Twitter. Twitter is @Primetime21st. Instagram is Primetime21st_gaming. You can find those links in the description below. You can also find Catalyst Mints, the great sponsor of Primetime 21st Gaming, through the link in the description below. Check them out, guys. If you do it through the link in the description below, it lets them know that I sent you. So that's a win-win-win. That's a win for me, a win for them, but most importantly, a win for you. They've got some awesome stuff on that website. Check them out, Catalyst Mints. Be sure to subscribe to Primetime 21st Gaming right here on YouTube if you haven't, for gameplay reviews and more episodes of the Primetime Podcast. I'm a little upset with the PlayStation Classic list reveal, and I'm still getting it though. I pre-ordered it. I'm a big fan of the PlayStation 1, so regardless, come December 3rd, I'll be at Best Buy getting mine. So that's gonna do it for me, guys. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in whatever it is that I do next.